gloves are off, the heels are on. It's Let Me Finish with Emmy Award-winning sports reporter Suzy Shuster and senior West Coast editor of Vanity Fair, Krista Smith. It's not easy to get a word in edgewise, but they'll try. And now, here's Krista and Suzy.
The best opportunity to win now and in the future is in Miami. Thus spake King James. LeBron James made his announcement to go to Miami, to leave Cleveland, electrifying all of South Beach while blackening the hopes of Cleveland and, dare I say, the state of Ohio. We sat in big wings in Hollywood over Guinness and nachos. Big wings. And watched the announcement, and I have to say, wow. I mean, not unexpected, but
two words.
Wow.
King Pat. King
yeah,
Pat.
I mean,
come
Pat
on,
Riley,
round of applause. That guy,
he pulled it off.
At 105, my entire adult consciousness, I've been hearing the name Pat Riley. And in 2010, he pulls it off. I mean, it's unreal. And I can tell you, back in Santa Barbara, Kobe, you better be thinking about something to do. I want to see you in Disneyland. I want to see you at the Beverly Center. I want to see you in Rodeo. Because let me tell you, honey, this has just changed the game.
Yeah, fresh from the Twilight series,
Look at him.
Pat Riley is
and
just
by the way, Pat Riley's limping a little. I mean, Pat Riley's not limping a little. Our guy, Phil Jackson's limping a little coming back. I don't know. This is great. I love it. It's great for sports. Obviously, if he would have gone to the Bulls or the Knicks, it would have spread the wealth around a little bit. I don't know how happy the NBA is about this decision.
Who cares about spreading the wealth around? You know what the fact of the matter is? This is like a great setup. This is fun. We're going to see three guys playing together. We miss seeing groups of players together. It was Kobe and Shaq, if you remember. It was Scotty and Michael. This is a threesome. It's actually very cool. That sounds a little dirty, but
yeah. And by the way,
and in South Beach, threesome is a dirty word.
Where's my camera? Where's my camera, Matt? I got to King James, no sperm catchers, okay? No bad behavior in Miami, all right? It's a lot nicer than Cleveland, okay? And with all due respect to those in Cleveland, it's a lot warmer. I understand it's a very short flight from Cleveland to Miami, but I don't want to hear about anything. I don't want to hear about any kind of crap in a bar with some woman. I don't want to hear someone carrying your baby that you didn't even know about. That's all I ask. Now go win some rings.
The terms are undetermined, as we know. Yeah. It's still being negotiated right now.
By the way, Kardashian's available.
Sorry. Right. I think they have a store
in
Miami.
Come on, Kim. How great would that be? Think of that bench when they meet. Chloe versus Kim.
I'm sure the E will be right behind it with a huge camera crew. But the terms are undetermined. We will soon find out what he's going to make. Dwayne Wade, of course, being the first guy to say, I will step back and take less money. Chris Bosh, of course, going down from Toronto, joining the team as well.
LeBron taking less money.
The threesome, Krista, let me finish. The threesome will then make less money as a whole. They've got about $5 left to fill out the rest of the roster. I don't know if Mario Chalmers is out, Michael Beasley. I don't know what's going to happen with those guys. I don't even know if Pat Riley's grandson's available to come off the bench, but someone's going to have to, and it's going to be really interesting to see who fills out the rest of this roster because, oh, by the way, they can raise those ticket prices now because everyone's going to come to South Beach.
South Beach is hot again. It's great. And obviously they've been in a depression. I can't really compare the economic depression in Miami to that in Cleveland. But it is kind of interesting, the real estate market, what's going to happen there. Obviously, the ticket sales, like you said, are going to be huge. It's it's like the Tim Tebow T-shirt.
Maybe Matt Damon finally sells his mansion down there. And I think LeBron may be looking. You know, what's so fascinating is how he announced it. He looked a little bit nervous. He actually seemed like he was uncomfortable at first.
Superstar.
You know, and then he settled down into the interview with Jim Gray. He was very gracious to Cleveland and to the state of Ohio.
Oh, wait. Can we he likes the show, so you
like the show.
Can you let me finish?
I'm actually
No, I want one. Did you like the show? Were you interested in watching it? Or were you hating that he was doing it while you were watching it?
It was fascinating.
It was fascinating. Okay, good.
I have to say that maybe I was wrong. I don't love the style in which it was done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was just
Are you busy?
Sure I heard that, yeah.
I'm sorry. Would you rather be somewhere else? I'm talking about LeBron James.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't like the announcement. I didn't like, I'm going to go live, the decision, ESPN with the voice of God, the decision. Like, I didn't love that. A little bit
of top.
But you know
what? It looked like a prison. I mean, that was the weird thing.
It was
with the metal
prison.
over. I don't understand why they didn't do like a horseshoe of kids, like just the two bleachers of kids. I would have liked a horseshoe because it did look a little Folsom Prison in the check versus the stripe, whatever. But I thought LeBron was a champ. I thought whoever his media coaching was, I'm not up in his business.
He conducted himself
really well. But he did amazingly well. And I defy any actor to do that any better. He wasn't fidgeting. He wasn't looking around. He wasn't drifting up or down. He answered the questions questions directly, and I felt I believed him, and I understand he gave 7 years in Cleveland, as much as my heart wanted him in Cleveland, for Cleveland, because I understand I'm a Denver Bronco, what that means. But I do think that he gave 7 years, and that's, I mean, what, Dawson's Creek ran for 7 years, you know. Actors, Grey's Anatomy, 7 years. You know,
right.
That's the contract. That's the standard contract, 7-year itch. You know, you really can't get mad at him. And he said, he came out and said, I apologize, I didn't bring a championship to
this
that
looks
city.
awful, by the way. That looks awful. Because
that's
he
not
really
the
looks
picture.
like
He
he's
was
in
in
prison.
purple check. That's
yeah,
not the
but
shot.
you know,
that's not. He was wearing purple checks. Matt.
Oh, that's it.
no, that's it, babe.
That is it. Look closer.
That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a bad photo.
Now, let's also talk about the fact that already in Cleveland, they are burning him in effigy. There are actually burnings of jerseys in Cleveland right now. There are riots going on because people are so upset about their son leaving their hometown. But I think it was the best thing he could do. He needed to get away from his hometown, spread his wings, go somewhere else. It's like a kid going off to college, to be very honest with you. Get away from the mama, get away from some of the rumors from the last year, get away from the 2 times they were going through the playoffs and not accomplishing anything. The guy said, I want to win now. I want to get this going, and that's just what he's going to do.
He's 25 years old. It's great. He's 25, by the way. We have established it. 25, plenty of time to win all those rings, okay? He is arguably, him and Kobe, the 2 best players, okay? This is great, and it is something that emotionally we talked about before. Take away the money. Take away the $100+ million that he would get if he stayed in Cleveland.
Collective bargaining, he would have actually got the 6 years, 125, had he stayed under collective bargaining. We'll see what he ends up getting in Miami.
So he already said, and we already know he's not going to get that. So you take all that away, and you just look at him as a 25-year-old individual, okay? His whole identity has been created in that community, okay? And that, even a kid, if you have no talents, okay, you're still suffocated by your family, by your community, by the expectations, by what you have to do. And I agree with you, and we've talked about that before. Emotionally, I think it's important to kind of make that break and spread his wings. But I don't want him, you know, Miami does make me a little nervous with.
Yes, here we go, burning his jersey.
It does.
By the way, very nice by a playground.
And where are we?
Safe. This is Cleveland. This is safe. This is something to do with your children.
Or is that a garage?
Yeah, you know, this is what you do with your
Look
kids.
how green
burn
the
a
grass
jersey and then
is.
go on the slide.
Okay,
you know,
which celebrity?
Wow.
Who do you think is going to be dating him?
I think Kim.
God,
I think Kim's the front runner because it's Miami.
All right, who? So excited.
You're throwing me. I was still stuck on.
I love it. I love it.
All right, you ponder that while we talk about one of his great mature quotes. He said, and I quote, he said, "You become a superstar as an individual, you win championships as a team." And I like that about what he said tonight. I actually think that he spoke with a lot of maturity and grace. He got his point across really well, like as Krista said, great media coaching, but this kid's got good wherewithal, and I think Pat Riley is a part of this already. I think you can get the fingerprints of Pat Riley all over the 3 of these guys, the selflessness, the giving, the way they're going to come together and play as a team, because Pat Riley, the whole time he was the Knicks coach, and then when he went south, was all about that team effort. And yes, I know it's cliche, and you play as a team, but Pat Riley is really good at that. He's great at getting individual athletes and individual personalities and characters to come together and play with unity. We'll see. Will this be the end-all, be-all? Will he have, like as Jim Gray pointed out, maybe it was Mike Wilbon, 5 championships for Kobe. His peers have collective championships. Will this be the beginning, and how important is it to him to have several?
I don't, in a weird way, I don't mean to be ageist, but we are in Hollywood. I don't consider a 25-year-old peers with Kobe. Yes, they're playing at the same time, but I think that's a significant amount of an age gap that, yeah, they're playing together. They're both great. They both have this. They both came right out of high school. But I do give LeBron a little bit more leeway. Let's see, check in 2 years. But the other thing that I think you cannot ignore, and I know this in Hollywood, it's like stunt casting. When you have a movie like 9, or you know, you've got Nicole Kidman, Penelope Cruz, Daniel Day-Lewis, you know, you stack the deck and the movie turns out terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
is this going to be Valentine's Day?
Tell me, is this going to be, exactly, is this Valentine's Day where you're like, wow.
Have you ever seen a worse movie in your life than Valentine's Day?
See it on an airplane, it's not so bad.
It's awful. It's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
But that's what I worry about here. How long is it going to take them to get the rhythm? Are they going to come out and be, you know, Eastern Conference champion? Is it going to happen right away? Is LeBron going to wait 2-3 years? And then is the resentment going to build? And then like the second guessing and the Monday night quarterbacking and all that stuff. I mean, what I'm curious, Suzy, what do you think this means for the rest of the league? Like, what are they thinking in LA? What are they thinking in Chicago? What happens with the Nets now and your future fiance?
Vladimir Prokhorov,
Yeah.
the owner of the Nets?
Yeah.
I think he is shocked and dismayed. I think he didn't think he had he acted like he had a good stake in it, but I don't think he really believed he did, and I'll tell you why. It's just because these three guys, and I truly believe that they have conspired since the Chinese Olympics to play together. These three guys became great
buddies,
friends.
right?
They wanted to play. These are young kids. These kids wanted to play together, and they also knew that they had to go to a team that was stacked properly
Summer
so that
camp,
they
right?
could play and win. So what do
'Cause
I
he
think it
said
means for
that.
the rest
He
of the
did say
NBA?
that. He's
Excuse
like-
me, let me
yeah.
finish. What does this mean for the rest of the NBA? It means the Lakers better finish re-signing Derek Fisher, who's 950 years old. They actually signed another point guard today, and I thought Kobe Bryant was going to pass out. But then you look around and you're thinking, parity. This is not the NFL. Who's going to play this team? And I think the Celtics, who are like 750,000 years old now.
But they
looking
still look
today.
good. But yeah,
Jermaine O'Neal, I mean, wow,
Right.
what a great signing. I mean, boy, they should celebrate
What
now.
about the Knicks? I'm sorry, we're going to argue over him again and again and again. Amari Stoudemire, but what does that mean for him? He goes there. Do you build a team around him? What happened? It was a much different story if LeBron went to the Knicks. Now you're looking at the Knicks. What are the Knicks going to do?
Amari's going to have a
beg to
clothing
differ
deal.
nothing.
He's going to be Madison Avenue
He's
favorite.
adorable.
He's a great guy, a jaunty
not gonna win
dresser.
games?
No, I don't think he. You know what? To be honest with you, I think Amari's a great competitor, but he's more about the lifestyle than he's about. I mean, I think LeBron made it really clear. I want to win now. He said it. I woke up this morning
But
and
he
I
also
truly
said, "I
believed
want to have
that I
fun
knew where I could
will
win."
be happy." Well, I will be happy, which I do. This is the one thing I do want to say about this move, which I'm looking forward to seeing, is you got to have that love of the game, and they all have love of the game. We all talk about the competitiveness, game face, all this thing. But I really, really appreciate what LeBron talked about. I want to have fun. I want to have that quality of life in that. That really won me over when he said, yeah, I want to win championship, but where will I be the happiest? I talked to my mother, where am I going to be the happiest? Where am I going to be the most fulfilled as a person? Where am I going to be able to grow? And like you said, spread my wings. And I think I like that he stressed that. Yeah, it's about winning championships. He wants to do that. But it's also about being with his friends. And I love that in that speech. And I think he was flawless. And I think a lot of actors.
Rich Eisen joining us via Skype. Rich, is that you?
God, he changed a little different.
Wow. It's not usually look.
He's coming, all right.
He's coming up in a minute because
Are we going to
Rich
find
Eisen
out what he had
did
for dinner?
tweet out
Has he
today to
eaten
all
yet?
of his followers.
Rich, have you eaten yet?
Big announcement. Rich Eisen joining us now, the host of NFL Network, and he tweeted out to his followers today, everybody watching, that he was going to make a huge announcement tonight. Right around 7 o'clock, he was going to announce what he was going to have for dinner. And
the decision.
Rich, thanks for joining us so much in the room live for Let Me Finish. We really appreciate you choosing us to broadcast your announcement. I know you could have had your pick of anyone. I know that you offered to buy time on every network, and they turned you down. We appreciate you coming here to the room live.
What's the decision?
Well, it's my pleasure, and I think it just speaks to the respect that I have for the two of you and for all of your viewers that I've chosen such a momentous time as this to make my decision known about what I'm having for dinner tonight.
Rich, when did you decide?
Well, it was basically about 5 minutes ago.
And if I
as always, I went back and forth. Do I order out? Do I go out, or do I just take something from the freezer and defrost it?
Let me ask you, Rich, how many people at this time know what your decision is?
Nobody knows right now. Actually, that's not true. There is one person, because I called my mom, and I spoke with her about it, and we talked, and when she told me that she knew what I was going to eat would make me happy, it's when I really just knew that I'd made the right decision on what I'm having for dinner tonight.
Rich, what went through your mind when you were deciding what to have for dinner?
Well, it really depends on just how hungry I am. And, I last ate around 3. Well, actually, that's not true. I had half of my kids' lasagna for dinner tonight, which sort of takes away a little bit of the thunder of my big announcement. Because all those people out there that were rooting for Italian food must know that I'm not going to have that for dinner tonight. I've already sort of had my fill of Italian, but it's definitely a big decision. And again, I really am appreciative that you ladies found the time on Let Me Finish to do this.
And Rich, how concerned were you about this decision and how it would affect all those who are waiting to hear what you did have.
And all your fans on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to disappoint them, but you know, that's why I decided to draw this thing out for at least 5 more minutes before actually making it.
Krista, I don't know about you. I mean, I am sitting here with bated breath.
I'm nervous in my stomach. It's weird.
I mean, you're being very, very Jim Gray-like and not asking the actual question that people want to have asked.
Well, I'm waiting for the 17-minute number on the clock.
Also,
We're almost there.
I'm a little ill from the nachos from Big Wings.
So, Rich, what did you have for dinner this evening?
Well, I haven't had it yet, Krista. You know, I haven't had it yet, so it's sort of like, you know, I'm going to have a sign and trade with the Cobb salad.
Wow.
And that's what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm going to have Cobb salad.
Rich, if you'd stayed home, though,
maybe swapping out the blue cheese for, you know, I know this is a little bit crazy, but maybe some Monterey Jack.
But Rich, had you stayed home, you could have had a cheeseburger, and you could have gone for the longer-term enjoyment, and you could have gotten more for your money. But instead, you chose under this collective bargaining to take a salad, which might be less filling in the long run. How did you come to that decision?
Because of the half a lasagna. Xander.
Really, because I want
Suzy,
to
how could you
stay
miss
healthy.
that?
Yeah, I want to stay healthy for as long as I possibly can. And, you know, even though the cheeseburger may be satisfying, it may be really what would make me ultimately happy. I want to stay healthy for our beautiful boys, Suze. Right. And so in the end, it's really just about the kids with the Cobb salad.
So, Krista, what I think he's saying is you eat a cheeseburger as an individual, you eat a salad as part of a team.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think you nailed it, Suze. I think you really just you found the perspective there. And again, for all the people that were rooting on Italian food, rooting on a burger, for all you people out there that were really behind me 100% on those fronts, I tried for 7 years. I tried, and I hope that you understand that I just got to move on with the Cobb salad with chicken and Monterey Jack substituted for any blue cheese that may errantly find its way into my Cobb salad tonight.
You know, Krista, I'll tell you what's crazy about this breaking news is the New York Times took out an ad yesterday advertising that Rich Eisen was going to have a prime rib. They canceled just before we went on the air. So the sources that must have come out. My sources had told me cheeseburger, so I was all wrong.
You know, I had a hunch. Salad.
What led you, Krista, to thinking that he would have a salad?
Well, first, the big indicator for me 5 minutes ago was the eating half of Xander's dinner with the lasagna. I thought, wow.
That's
very heavy food. Yeah. It's a very heavy food, Krista. Very heavy food.
It's homemade from Dominic at the cheese store in Beverly Hills, but it's good lasagna. Rich, we really appreciate the momentous nature of this decision, joining us here in the room live after all the networks turned you down, and we appreciate. We'd like to know that where are you donating your ads proceeds? To which charity are you donating those royalties?
Well, depending on what bag you brought tonight, Suze, I think it's going to have to be starting at home.
Yeah.
Rich, that's an astute and interesting observation. We really thank you for your time.
But Rich, as long as we have you here visiting us and we've gotten the kind of dinner thing out of the way, what do you think of this LeBron thing? Have you happened to hear about this?
Oh yeah, LeBron's going to the Heat.
Did you hear this? He picked the Heat.
No, I've been a little bit too absorbed with what I'm having for dinner tonight. What are you talking about?
Well, LeBron James is going to the Miami Heat.
Oh, is that what I had on as I was making my decision? I had ESPN in the background. I had ESPN in the background, and I saw somebody peripherally looked like he was choking on his own vomit, and I guess that must have been LeBron James.
Was that no? That was Stuart Scott. Booyah.
Nice
Sorry.
one, Suze. That's
Sorry.
a good one. No, I mean LeBron did look like he was sick to his stomach because I think he knew that that he was disappointing his home state, his hometowns, and he was doing it on national television. So you could definitely see that he was torn with the decision, but he knows ultimately that playing with two other superstars may get him his ring faster than staying put, which is unfortunate for the folks at Cleveland because this goes up there with the Elway Drive, and it goes up with the Browns being taken away from them by Baltimore and Art Modell moving the team. I mean, this really goes up there in the lore of disappointing moments for Cleveland sports.
As bad as the Dodgers moving out of Brooklyn?
It doesn't have, I guess, that nostalgia aspect of it because when the Dodgers made that decision, they didn't get an hour on the Dumont network or anything like that at the time to make their decision known. But, it's definitely up there with the Browns leaving town, like I said. And the Indians haven't won anything in the last 50 years. And, now the Cavaliers having their hearts ripped out. And again, for LeBron to do it on national television is something that he is definitely going to hear about. He's definitely going to feel the criticism. And I know that, Wilbon and Jim Gray kept asking him the question about how this affects him. I mean, really how it affects the people of Cleveland is what he's, going to have to deal with. And there's going to be as many people who are going to fill the state. I mean, when they travel, when the Heat go on the road, it's going to be a circus. Everyone's going to want to go see those three guys play together and root against them. I mean, and root that they don't, with these combining forces, don't actually get together. And I think I'd love to take an odds on how quickly we're going to hear Pat Riley talk about maybe he wants to coach again.
I agree. If I'm Stan Van Gundy, I'm not too comfortable in my tracksuit. I don't know if you saw, but they were actually burning LeBron's jersey in effigy in Cleveland. They are actually burning jerseys there. It's gonna be ugly tonight, Rich. I think it's gonna be riotous in Cleveland, I believe.
Well, I hope nobody gets hurt and does anything stupid. But obviously you got very disappointed fans who, for this to have been an event and have them disappointed is definitely more difficult than them just hearing about it in a press conference or something like that. This is very tough to take.
Aside from the fans and obviously the franchise, what is their future? I mean, what are the possibilities of
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely going to be, the thing I put out on Twitter when the announcement was made is the big sigh of relief you hear from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is Tom Izzo breathing out.
Right.
He made the right decision a few weeks ago not to pitch his whole Michigan State legacy for a chance that LeBron may stay. But Byron Scott's got his hands full with a roster that they start from scratch. I mean, they start absolutely from scratch here, and it's gonna be a long time until they get back to where they've been the last 7 years.
Yeah, I don't think any old names like Adrunas Ilgauskas or Ilgauskas, was that his name? The old Cleveland Cavalier.
The Big Z, the Big Z, the big Russian.
I don't think that he's going to be selling any more jerseys wildly on NBA.com. And I'll tell you, I'll be curious to see what happens. We talked about Tim Tebow earlier, Rich, about that being the fastest selling jersey right now in the NFL. We'll see how fast those Cleveland Cavaliers / turning to Miami Heat jerseys become for LeBron James on NBA.com.
Yeah, but
I'm sure they're pitching him on NBA.com or whatever they're doing right now. But of course, you should go to NFLShop.com and get ready for the National Football League season. I should show off the NFL Network logo of the shirt that I'm wearing.
I'll wear one. I'll wear one in the room. But before we lose you to your Cobb salad, I just have one really pressing question.
Yes, Krista.
What do you think LeBron's choice? How do you think it affects the Kardashians?
Oh, well, that's a very, very interesting question.
Because they are in Miami.
Is there one left for him?
Yeah, well, I think Kim, if she is available, and I think her and Reggie
Miles
Bush,
Austin, see ya.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Miles Austin, LeBron. I mean, I'm wondering if she's going to have a special called The Decision.
That would be something I would definitely tune in to see. No doubt about that. I just didn't know that there was a Kardashian left for LeBron. But now, if you heard the first thing that was out of his mouth, he says, "I'm going to go to South Beach." So we know where his mind is.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He didn't say the Miami Heat first. He says, "I'm going to go to South Beach." And there are lots of places in Miami other than South Beach that are, would like to raise their hand and say it's a good place to live. But you can already see where his mindset is. And those three guys are gonna hit it. The question is who they're gonna get around them and how they're gonna be able to deal with the fact that everyone expects them to win.
Yeah, I mean, divorce has never come at a better time for Dwayne Wade, and we'll see how long Chris Bosh has his girlfriend at his side, because 3 men, running men in South Beach, Nobu, here they come. I mean, that's going to happen.
Yeah. Very salient point, Suze. Well done.
Thank you. That's what we try to do here at the Room Live, Rich. We try on Let Me Finish to come up with some alternate perspectives in the world of sports, but that's just what we do.
Well, listen, I'm looking forward to that Cobb salad tonight, ladies. You know,
Well,
again, I really slept hard on it. It's not you know, it's not part of my diet plan that I'm on, but I'm going to go off it just to you know, live a little bit. And again, I thank all my people out there on Twitter and of course at the Room Live that have really supported me in this process. It really means a lot.
Rich, thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it.
Rich Eisen from NFL Network. You know, a momentous night in many ways.
Yep.
Rich decides to have a Cobb, and LeBron goes to Miami in that order. I don't know. I have to say that much like the World Cup when I was a big hater, I was anti this announcement. I have to admit that I did enjoy watching it, and it wasn't just the nachos, because I can't remember the last time I ate nachos, and I'm giddy about it. But the fact of the matter is, it was a good watch. The Folsom thing was a little creepy. I did enjoy it. Like you said, it was must-see TV. It was made for TV, and in this reality age, I guess this is what we're going to start expecting.
I'm not mad at it. It gave you a chance to see LeBron. He did really, really well, I thought. Obviously, people in Cleveland are upset. I was surprised. Infinite wisdom would have it be that how can he do this? And exactly what Rich was saying, on national television and not pick Cleveland. But in a way, it gives him a public forum to defend himself. And I think if you actually listen to it, 7 years, he talked about the fans. He talked about what it meant to him. He talked about the ticket takers and the janitors. I mean, he didn't, this was not ego speaking. He honestly said, I want to go where I can win and where I can be with my friends. And I think that's really, if you live in Cleveland, I commend you. It's fantastic. Your loyalty is amazing, but you can't hate him too much.
No.
You know, and
you got to let the kid spread his wings and go off.
Yeah,
you
and
gotta
also
do
the
it.
Cleveland Browns, didn't they just get a new quarterback?
Yeah, Sam Bradford.
Sam
but
Bradford,
he's not negotiating.
You know what? Sam Bradford.
Yeah, but he's not negotiating. Well, I mean, this has been a great day. I hope that we have announcements like this on TV every day. And then, you know, not only do we hear about a salad, but we hear about a major superstar going to Miami, going to South Beach. Thank you so much for joining us for this double episode of Let Me Finish. We will see you next week. Have a great week.